I'd be happy to provide you with a written response. But you touched on a couple of things. So, how does environmental risk management look at Aboriginal lawsuits?
At the current treaty rights
that
are ongoing in that process.
Right. So treaty rights, and you're comparing a donations program to lending, right?
I'm just comparing the Blue Water project, which is amazing, and it's something that not a lot of banks are doing, to the fact that you also have the most money invested in tar sands. So it's almost as if are you using the money that you're paying from the tar sands and giving it to these people who do projects in a different way. You know, I feel like you're kind of not balancing out the damage you're taking.
So I guess the first thing on treaty rights, in the course of doing a corporate environmental risk assessment, companies operating in the oil sands tend to be large, diversified oil and gas companies with a lot of different assets. They may have interest in the oil sands. They have conventional oil and gas stations, all sorts of stuff. When we do corporate loans, which is mostly what we do, and an explanation of the difference between corporate lending, investment banking, and project finance, and asset management or investment is too complicated for this conversation, but I'd be happy to dig into it privately if you'd like. But what's important to understand is that when you do corporate lending to a large diversified oil company, it's like a line of credit to you. So a line of credit means that you look at the overall bankability of the counterparty. You look at their overall track record. Most of our clients in the oil and gas sector, many of them, are actually third-party sustainability leaders. And according to third parties, their Dow Jones Sustainability Index in their sector, etc. We actually do look at that. We look at how they manage their environmental issues, compliance with regulations. We look at their track record on community engagement. Most of the oil companies, in fact, I would say all of them, operating in Canada and in the developed world for sure, and certainly to some extent in the developing world, have community relations, and most of the large companies in Canada have Aboriginal relations experts. So we talk to them. We look at the kinds of processes that they have underway to ensure community consultation. And we do look at the impact of the legal disputes on the business. And what happens many times is it may or may not be material to the overall company's financial risk. A large integrated oil company with assets all over the world and a problem in one part of the world with dispute, really government-to-government dispute that a company has gotten involved in, so Aboriginal and provincial or federal governments squabbling over how treaty rights are dealt with. Companies have stepped into this, unfortunately, and it may or may not be material to their overall business from a financial perspective. That's just the way it is. A multi-billion-dollar company with a problem in 100-kilometer stretch of their pipeline, it's not good for that part of the pipeline, but in the whole context of giving a line of credit to that company, it may or may not be material.
I guess it just sounds a bit contradictory because you're talking about regional and local water, like the effects of the regional and local water on the communities, and to say that you guys RBCs in contacting, or the oil companies themselves have representatives that are Aboriginal experts, I guess, which I assume would mean they're Aboriginal themselves. But that's not But I guess then to that, can I just quickly speak to, have you any update on board Nixon taking up Lionel Lopine from Fort Chipewyan or Melina Lucan Massimo, who requested that they come and visit?
So,
seeing as you guys are
maybe you guys can have a conversation online. Let's get to some other questions. First speaker,
I guess sort of, I want to kind of follow up on that question. I'm sorry.
okay, maybe somebody else.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
If you can make it quick, though.
Well, it was just sort of addressing the statement about that Melina Lucan, the Lucan Creek woman, asked RBCs serious about supporting clean water. Why are they financing projects that are contaminating the lakes and rivers around my community? So I was wondering if basically you had to say that you did sort of have a question.
People are
RBCs
asking.
financing it with
They're
tar
involved.
sands, but then having the First Nations, I think this was at the annual general meeting.
I don't think it's fair to ask Sandra those questions, to be honest. I don't think she has the answers.
Well-
Putting her on the spot, unless you want to jump in.
You know what, I know that you were asking us in order to have a public forum to air your grievances with lending to the oil sands, but I could actually give you a very detailed and thorough answer in appropriate forum, because not everybody in the room wants to hear this, I assume, and I would be happy to sit down and talk to you about it. I mean, there is a lot of information around this. RBC has a lot of information. I could give you reams of stuff about it, but I don't know if this is the place.
John?
Yes, Sandra.
Oil and water don't mix! So why is RBC financing the tar sands?
Water lending
I'm scared.
is a drop of water compared to tar sands financing, which is creating dirty tailings ponds and massive deforestation.
Tailing ponds are not the right kind of ponds to be investing in.
Impacted First Nations communities demand that RBC suspends all financing of tar sands expansions in respect for Aboriginal treaty rights.
How do you justify using 3 barrels of Canada's precious fresh water for 1 barrel of dirty oil?
Sandra, is this what RBC considers sustainable low-risk financing?